Yes. Good evening, everybody. All the guests are esteemed guest speaker. Yes, our very own PDG, Mookherjee, Sunanduda, everybody who's joined us from the other continent. Welcome. This is the 1110th regular meeting of the Rotary Club of Calcutta, Metro City. Okay, I'm Amrita, and I welcome you all. There are lots of guests here today. I'm so happy to see you having joined us. Am I clearly audible?
Absolutely.
Yes, indeed.
Right. Yes. In the beginning, as is customary for us, we always start with our Rotary four-way test. I would like to request past President Rotarian Sunan Sen to please read out our Rotary four-way test. Sunandada, if you're ready. We'll give them to
you. You're still muted.
Oh. Sunandada?
Yeah, he's muting himself. Unmute himself.
কি প্রবলেম হচ্ছে নাকি?
Okay, I can read the four-way test. I think he's having some technical difficulties.
Yes,
okay, the four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. First, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? And fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you so much, Rotarian Sunrita. I would now request the members to please confirm the minutes of the 1108th regular meeting.
Confirm.
Do I take it to be confirmed? Thank you so much. Thank you.
Confirm.
Yes, thank you so much. Right. Our club secretary this year, Arundhati, is down with COVID. So she was not able to join us today. She will not be able to join us. So in her stead, I would be conducting the secretary's business for the day. In the beginning, let me begin by extending the birthday greetings. Our best wishes go out to to the past president and our president nominee, Rotarian Manish Nayak, for the 12th of July. After that, heartiest greetings go out to our guest speaker. Oh, Manish has just joined. Manish, we were just wishing you a happy birthday for the 12th.
Thank you so much. Thank you so very much.
Belated, that is. And we would now like to extend our heartiest greetings to our guest speaker for the evening, PDG Amitava Mookherjee, for the 19th of July. A very happy birthday to you in advance, sir. Also, our secretary, who's not well, our prayers for her speedy recovery. We would like to wish her for the 23rd of July. Happy birthday to her in advance. Next, I would like to confirm receipt of bulletins received from the district. We have received bulletins from RC Calcutta Metropolitan, Rotary Club of Calcutta, Rotary Club of Behala, Rotary Club of Garden Reach, RC Salt Lake Metropolitan. And I would then like to confirm that the next regular meeting we have proposed to be on the 30th of July on Zoom as usual at 7:30. Right, with that we come to, the usual club business. I would now not keep you waiting anymore. I would request past president, our club trainer, Rotarian Shubhajit Roy, to please introduce our guest speaker for the evening. Shubhajita, if you would please do the honors.
Good evening. Thank you, Amrita. I think we have this assembly that we have this evening. All of us know Amitava so well. Past District Governor Amitava Mookherjee, Dr. Amitava Mookherjee so well that he would otherwise not need an introduction. But I would like to share a fact that this man was definitely somebody who created history when he became the district governor. During that year, I think it was one of the most beautiful years in Rotary. Just as this year, the theme that year was so beautiful, sow the seeds of love. And I think that kind of set the ball rolling for a wonderful year that we all had. I, as a president of his during his governorship, I think we all enjoyed a fabulous year when he created a benchmark of a district conference which has not been ever after been recreated by any governor. But I would say for all Rotarians who were not part of that conference, that was a benchmark of a conference, and it was something which we still remember. 20 years, exactly 20 years back, we were his presidents. I took over as a president on 18 July, a day before his birthday, of Rotary Club of Garden Reach. Proshenjit is there, another past president of that club. And we all remember how well that year went by. But apart from being a district governor, I think what he has also, the legacy that he has he's created for Rotarians was the kind of service that he did. His service towards the visually challenged, in which Sankara Netralaya, I think, is something which we all remember till date. And the way he created the space for Rotary to get in a kind of an arrangement with Sankara Netralaya was something which very few today remembers, but it was actually, he was one of the pioneers who helped Rotary get in arrangement with Sankara Netralaya. He is also a multi-dimensional person. I mean, those who are unaware, he is also a lawyer, an entrepreneur, and also somebody who dwells in past life. He is, in fact, if I'm not mistaken, his doctorate is in something which is in past life intervention. So all of you who are willing to get into your past life, he's the man to get in touch with. And finally, for us, he's a very dear person. I mean, personally, maybe I'm sounding very emotional and personal, but he is somebody who I have connected with over the years. And I feel our Rotary right now, where we stand in our district, we need somebody like him to show us the way forward, the way to what Jennifer Jones has been saying, inclusion, diversity. These are all things which we all saw 20 years back when he was a leader of our district. And we hope he continues to guide us the way he has been doing over the years. And I think without much ado, I would like to request past District Governor Dr. Amitava Mookherjee to speak to us.
Thank you very much, Shubhajit. Really touching words from one of my favorite Rotarians of all time. Thank you very, very much. Good evening, my friends. Greetings to every single member and every guest of this club. And I express my gratitude to Amrita, Shubhajit, and the entire club for giving me this opportunity to speak on a subject which I was actually, I was waiting for an opportunity to speak. Last week, I spoke at one of the major district functions of the neighboring district 3240 on the same subject. And I dare say that we have started thinking of Rotary a little differently. Shubhajit just now said that my PhD is in past life regression. Well, it is in a way, and it is not. My PhD is in a subject called Neuro-Linguistic Program, NLP, of which past life is just a small part. It's called timeline over there. NLP, why I bring this subject up is because NLP has got something to do with what is happening to us. One of the guiding factors of NLP is that if you keep on doing the same things, you will keep on getting the same results. And only people with schizophrenia think otherwise. They think that if I do the same thing, the results each time would be different. Schizophrenia, as you all know, is a term in which people describe that particular segment of society who are otherwise considered mindless, who are otherwise considered or termed as pagol. So a madman will always think that if I do the same things, I will get different results every time. Well, there is a change in the NLP's way of thinking. I should think so myself. That's because apart from mad people, Rotarians fall into that same category. We keep on doing the same thing over and over again, and expect different results every time. And when this doesn't happen, we lose hope, we lose faith, and we slowly wither away. It has taken 32 long years for Rotary to recognize the might of women. And that's why we have Jennifer Jones as our Rotary International president. Normally, every year, your wonderful club invites me to speak on the Rotary theme every year. And when I study the theme, I always find a direct linkage to our principal theme, service above self. But not this year. This year, it is totally different. Till date, as Shubhajit said, one of the most appealing themes that I have ever had in Rotary was sow the seeds of love. Every single governor would think that the theme that they have has probably been the best year after year. These are all philosophical ways of thinking of it. But somewhere or the other, Jennifer Jones has made a major step. It's a shift of paradigm, as you would say. Imagine Rotary. Where does your imagination get generated from? No Rotarian, no governor, no Rotary International president has ever sought to explain this to either the Rotary world or to themselves. That imagination is always generated from within. It is the mental imagery to visualize the desired outcomes. If I want something, then I must imagine it first. Every book that you see on the shelf, this shirt, the pair of glasses that I wear, was once upon a time in the imagination of somebody. So everything they say is thought of twice. Once as an imagination, and then that imagination is translated into reality. Rotary has just started thinking of it in these lines. Now, Rotary has an inherent connection with one of the greatest Indian heroes who've ever lived, Swami Vivekananda. I have tried my level best to get that connection going, but I have not succeeded to date. But you will also feel that somewhere down the line, Swami Vivekananda and his teachings have had a major impact on this organization. This organization today is sought to be a brick and mortar organization, but it never was. And I dare say it never will be. It is an organization which serves the soul only, and soul. When Swamiji was in Chicago, very close to where Shamostree is now residing, he was invited to Boston at the Harvard University. And after his famous speech over there in Harvard, he was offered the Eastern Philosophy chair. Swamiji, as you know, was a Paribrajak. He used to walk the entire length and breadth of the country, begging and getting connected to the people from within. From there, he certainly found that he was being offered a very handsome salary, wonderful facilities, and above all, the opportunity to expound on the Eastern philosophy in a Western world. But he very politely refused that offer. The reason that he cited was that he had very important business to conduct in a city called Chicago, where he would meet a group, 8 groups of young people in Chicago, and then they would expound on the prospects of having an organization which would synergize on the energies of the Oriental and the Occidental world based on the teachings of the Vedanta. Good. He went and he carried on with these meetings with the young people of Chicago. Who will tell me that the 4 who created Rotary was not a part of that? When Rotary came about a few years later, time and again, Paul Harris has exclaimed that he has got this philosophy from an Eastern philosopher, never Swami Vivekananda by name, for a different reason, which I found out. I'll explain that later on. In 1898, the Ramakrishna Mission was formed and registered as a trust in the city of Chicago. And Swamiji gave it a mission statement. It is still there today. Atmano mokshartam jagathitayachi. If you want to release your soul to the infinite, do good to the world. Swamiji came back after his visitation and he did create a synergy between the Occidental and Oriental world to enrich the Occidental world with the teachings of the Vedanta and the opportunity to do service. And the Oriental world would in return get the opportunity of using the resources from there into improving their lives and attending to their duties a little bit comfortably than they are usually used to. This was the whole and sole purpose of Swami Vivekananda's entire exercise. A few years later, he passed away. 2 years after he passed away, an organization came into being. An organization which was formed in Chicago. It was called Rotary International. And the connotation given is because Rotary, the name Rotary came about because they used to meet in rotation. If you go and read the life history of Paul Harris, you will find that it is not so. That was one of the external reasons given. The real reason was Rotary represented a circle. Again, from the same old philosopher. Rotary represented a circle, and a circle has no beginning and no end. It's continuous. It's in perpetuity. And that is why Rotary was selected. The circle was selected. The gear that you see is the movement of that circle from day to day. It was created to attend to the needs of the soul more than the needs of the body. it is true that the first avenue of service was club service, because until and unless we come together, the magic of Rotary never happens. That's true for Ramakrishna Mission also. The next avenue of service was vocational service, not community service. And that's because of the fact that you must start imagining what you can do with your Rotary. Why do you join? Harris himself found out that people join Rotary not because they are lonely, as people once thought, not because of some need which is related to their bodies, but rather a need which is directly connected to the soul, where every single person born on this earth has this innate urge to give back to the society, to the world, what he has received. That is why Rotary chose a vocation as a mean of expressing themselves. Your vocation is something by virtue of which you express yourself in Rotary. Not tarrying here for a little while, since Amrita is here as the president. I last saw her, met her when she was a Rotary actor. And my classification in those days was alcohol marketing. It was there because in our club, the classification was limited to one classification direct and the other was an additional active. Three classifications were never allowed in the same club. Both the classifications in my club, the Rotary Club of Calcutta Southeast then, were fulfilled. So then my law teacher was a member of that club and he asked me, how much of money do you earn and what percentage is that of your family's business in alcohol? I said, my earnings are minuscule in comparison to the liquor business. So he said, your classification from today shall be alcohol marketing. I was rather ashamed of the fact, because every time I said my classification is alcohol marketing, people would just either grin or smile at me or laugh it away. But in general, they didn't have this opinion that alcohol marketing can be a very useful classification to serve Rotary. Much later, after my classification was changed to hospital administration due to my change in vocation, I was in London and I met the managing director of a very famous whiskey company called Seagram's. He was a Rotarian and his classification was alcohol manufacturing and marketing. So I asked him this, and he is a very senior person. So I asked him this pertinent question, how does that help Rotary? How do you use your vocation to serve Rotary? He said that, look, we have a commitment to our company. And as you know, we are Scottish people. And we manufacture whiskey. Whiskey comes from the Scottish word O-I-S-G-E, oiske. O-I-S-G-E. And oiske in Scotland means water. So our commitment to our own profession is that we will create opportunities of providing drinking water, OSG, to the rest of the world. They have, through their efforts, spent $1 million or more in providing water services. So alcohol marketing also suddenly appeared to be a very, very useful and helpful vocation. Coming back to where I was, in imagining Rotary, we often find that we are held back by our belief system, where we believe that we must cross the 1.2 million mark as far as membership is concerned. We must cross this amount as far as donations to the Rotary Foundation is concerned. We must, and I have another past governor present over here who will agree with me. There's a lot of pressure to form new clubs and expand Rotary in a way that it has never happened before. As I said when I started, And we keep on doing the same things every year without fail and expect different results. Last year, I formed a club. I was the governor's special representative to the club. It was a 180-member club, which was actually formed the year before last. It lasted just 3 half-year days. On a sudden, there was a, what should I say, a difference of opinion over the last conference between the president of the club and the governor of the district. And early morning, next day, I found 180 resignation letters on my mailbox. It was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking. And try as I might, I could not get them back into Rotary. So the words of Jennifer Jones assumes a very special. We couldn't imagine that this would happen, and that is why it happened. We couldn't imagine that within ourselves we can generate thought processes. I have in my own small way tried to do that. As Shubhajit was speaking about the conference, the year I had the conference in 2002 and 3, the conference was attended by 3,700 people. And on one day, the conference attendance was 6,700, where 3,000 street children were there attending our conference. The charges for that conference was 100 rupees. There was a food park where you could buy all kinds of food. And we tried to provide the entire district with the best possible speakers, starting from the managing director of the Grameen Bank to Dr. Badrinath of Shankar Netralaya and the lot. I don't even, Bruce Aylward of the World Health Organization was there. So why couldn't any other governor come up with a conference which would charge Rotarians 100, 200, 300 rupees instead of charging 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 rupees? Is my question to myself. I'm not questioning the decision of the governors who have done it thereafter. But you see, when I made the charge as 100 rupees, I had around 268 clubs then, because Nepal was with us together. And I had 100% attendance from over 120 clubs. As a result of which everything became a different, it was aspected different altogether. People started looking at Rotary differently. Now I'm not asking you to replicate that, but I could do it because once, just on one fine day when I was imagining what else I could do, I thought of doing this. Jennifer Jones wants you to do that and just that today. It's no use vying with other clubs, fighting with other clubs, vain glory of small little tokens and your club is better than mine. Ultimately, you see what has happened is the work of Rotary, the core values of Rotary has been taken over. It's just been hijacked, I should say. If you go through the manual of procedures, you will find, I think it is Article 11, as it was, that the governor will exist, the office of the governor will exist to assist the Rotary Club achieve the objects of Rotary, nothing else. And today we have a 1,800 member district committee trying to achieve something which is unachievable. We also have what is known as the zone institutes every year, where usually the favored few, the past governors attend. And now, of course, it has been opened because of commercial reasons. And I was invited to one such institute as a speaker. It was in Madras. And I was told by about 20 of these big dadas of Rotary that you're getting an opportunity of your lifetime. You must be there. So I went there. In this room, when I entered, the top table consisted of 17 chairs. I counted it, 17 chairs. And the hall had just 5 members attending. That was the year 2004. And that was the last zone institute I attended, because I made myself a promise that I'm not going to be a part of this tamasha. This is very fast changing. If we don't change this, then we will cease to exist. Rotary cannot be a corporate entity and a soul searching organization both at the same time. These are conflicting zones of interest. Yes, I agree that commerce is needed to keep this organization going, but not in a corporate. This is where Jennifer Jones has come out with a thought. In Rotary, everywhere you go, you will find a lot of conflict coming out of things which don't mean much. Whether it's a governor's election or whether it's something, or Shyamastri will tell you, we have a WhatsApp group for the governors where half the days we are fighting each other or half the day we are sharing jokes. Never on a subject of importance to Rotary. Okay. Now, when this happens, what do we do? I go back to Swami Vivekananda and his disciples. The Ramakrishna Mission Trust was formed in 1898, as I told you, and it had the same problems that Rotary is facing today. There was a lot of infighting, a lot of problems happening. And in fact, what happened, the personal assistant of Swami Vivekananda was a Swamiji called Swami Virajananda. Swami Virajananda was the 6th president of the Math. When he was about 75 or 78, the meeting of the trustees took 6 days to decide on something, and yet they could not decide. There was a lot of infighting going on in the trust itself. So Swami Virajananda decided to address the issue. He went there and he spoke for exactly 4 minutes. Those 4 minutes worth of talks are available on the website of Ramakrishna Mission. Please go through it if you can. He said that, look, brothers, you have left your home and hearth to join a monastery. Obviously, because you felt very strongly about certain things in life. And that is the teaching of our master, Paramahansa Ramakrishna. And yet, over here, we have shifted our focus from the teachings and our efforts to spread the teaching of Ramakrishna Paramahansa there, and we are concentrating on our own ego conflicts. Ami eta bolche, tumi eta bolche. Ami eta bolche, tumi eta bolche. This carried on, as a result of which no decision could be taken. And the organization was slowly crumbling, unbeknownst to all. Swami Virajananda, after his 4-minute speech, he beseeched the disciples to sit down and not discuss on the object at hand, but reflect on why they are here and what they are here for and what they ought to do if they're here for what they think they are. From the Belur Math hall to his residence was about a 5-minute walk. He was an old man. He took a little time to walk down. When he walked and he arrived at that place, he was told that the brothers of the trust, the trustees, about 14 of them in number, have come to a conclusion and they have decided. And it was an amicable decision without any voting. That was in the year March 1951. And because of this one policy that they followed, from 1951 to 2022, no meeting of the Ramakrishna Trust has been held where there has been a contest or a voting. Now, if you think Rotary is a replica of Ramakrishna Mission, not with its missionary zeal, but with the very fact that the members are being provided with an opportunity to serve. You can get 1,001 places where you can donate money, and somebody else goes there and does the charity. Can you tell me any other organization where you go there yourself and serve with your own hands? When you serve with your own hand, you're serving your soul. So, Swami Virajananda's directions, his thought process apply to Rotary also. If you go through the speech of Jennifer Jones, you will find it touches the heart. It never speaks of you do this, you do that, you do that, you do this. All it says is that you imagine your Rotary. I cannot direct you to have your imagination directed, meandering in a way which I think is proper. You have to do your own imagination. Your club has been a wonderful club. It has produced excellent results. It has produced excellent Rotarians. And yet, year after year, we find that some of these Rotarians are missing. They are not there anymore. And there is no answer. The answer generally in Rotary is that we have not found out what we were looking for. It is up to us who are here to provide them with an answer, to provide them through our imagination the opportunity to find out what they were looking for. So this in sound and substance is the sayings of Jennifer Jones. Now coming back to Rotary itself, what are you expected? Which line would you like to take your imaginations to? Sky is the limit. Sky is the limit. You have no idea what Rotary could do. Today I was reading an article where it says that some organization should take up the cause of Alzheimer's, because 6.5 million people worldwide and about 2 million people in India are going to suffer from this. And they are going to lose their mental faculties. And there is a lot that can be done to prevent that. And Rotary be one of the institutions which does that. Mental health has become the talk of the town now. I know a doctor friend of mine, I was speaking to him, he said that, look, I am a cardiologist by profession, but basically I'm doing the work of a psychiatrist. I'm doing that because every single person who walks into my chamber thinks that he's going to have a heart attack, when actually he's suffering from an anxiety-related disorder. Can Rotary do something about it? Education, employment, opportunities for women are crying for assistance. We can only criticize people and we can criticize governments that the unemployment is in a 45-year downslide. Education is this, health is that. But what are we doing about it? What can we do about it? Now, today I have given myself this challenge that I'm not going to provide you with any answers. I'm just going to raise the question. I'm the why guy today. I'm going to ask you time and again, why is it happening this way? Because some things in life are inexplicable to me. Like I had this little girl who every time came with her mother to my place, to my shop on Shakespeare Sarani, used to get an ice cream from me. And she gave me the name Ice Cream Man. And it stuck to me. Today, when I see her with her Midwestern drawl, reading out the 4-way test, I said to myself, I never could imagine this. Well, my friends, I was speaking of Sunrita, as you would have guessed by now. I thank Shamasri for drawing her into Rotary. It is people like her, and it's people like the younger generation, people like Amrita, people like Firoz, people like Rashid. These are the people who have got to imagine Rotary and take it from here to our destination ahead. The path is not very simple, neither is it very easy, nor is it strewn with rose petals all over. It is a difficult path. But every time you achieve something out of this difficulty, the pleasure that you would get in achieving that would last you a lifetime. The pleasure that Shamasri gets out of having helped this girl climb the Everest. Because if Shamasri hadn't taken it up, Rotary never would have spent a single moment thinking about financing somebody to climb Mount Everest. Incidentally, for the knowledge of Shamasri also, when I was the governor, there was a Rotaractor couple who was financed by the government of Nepal to climb Everest. And they came to me and said, Dai, I want your blessings. I said, look, I can never climb Everest. So you should be blessing me so that someday I might attempt that. They said, no, we are taking up a very important project in our life, and we are going to make the name of Rotary everlasting. They're from the Rotary Club of Yalapatan. And this was in the month of May, the 50th anniversary of the climbing of Everest. I blessed them. We got a little bit of money together to give it to them. And we came back. Lo and behold, a week later, it was there all over the air. There was no social media at that time, but it was in every single newspaper that 2 Rotaractors from the Rotary Club of Yalapatan have climbed Everest and have taken the marriage vows. They've got married atop Mount Everest. Check it up in the Google. That is imagination, and that is what Jennifer Jones has asked you to do. My friends, with this, I leave you to your thoughts, and I hope that when I come back for the next issue of the Rotary International President's theme, you would have made me very, very proud. Thank you, and God bless you.
Wow. Thank you, sir. As just as I started out by saying, you have always been an inspiration, and this is my first meeting after taking over, and it had to be you to set us on our path. And the fact that you touched base and you got us, gave us the similarity between the Ramakrishna Mission Trust and the Rotary Foundation. That I think for all of us who are Bengalis here, it touches so deep. And it at all, we were, a little askance if we had doubts. You have definitely put us back on track today, sir.
Amrita, may I tell you one thing? In 1980, there was a Pakistani author who had come down to Calcutta and was addressing a meeting of the Asiatic Society, where he said that of all the religions in the world, which is the most dangerous? He said, Christianity is going askance. Islam is very aggressive. Jainism is very soft. The most dangerous religion of all is the religion of Ramakrishna, because it is the most infective religion. Yes. If you want, yes, I will WhatsApp you that speech.
Please do. Please do, sir.
And his words are so true. That was 1980 and this is 2022. So those are so true. Ramakrishna is not a Bengali icon. In fact, very few people from Bengal follow him compared to the number of his followers worldwide. And more because of the fact that following Ramakrishna's footsteps, his disciple Swami Vivekananda took over. I would love to speak on Swami Vivekananda and his different doings.
Absolutely, we must have you, have that talk. We need you. We need you to have that talk.
To what we do in Rotary, that it's impossible to be. In fact, on a more jovial note, when there were 6 people, I was the first to enter today, incidentally. When there were 6 people, I was thinking of Swamiji. Swamiji, when he came back from Chicago, he was a very famous man at that point in time. And yet, when his speeches took place, when he had different gatherings in Calcutta, at the Calcutta University Institute, a speech was arranged by certain organizations where only 6 people turned. And somebody asked Swamiji, "Apni bolchen kar jonne?" Swamiji said that, "Look, I don't speak for anybody. I speak for that small little chair that you see over there. There's a man sitting over there. You can't see him. He's Thakur. If he's listening to me, What do I care? Amita, you are going to face this problem. There will be days when you have it. But when you are true to your purpose and you know that you are doing it for a greater cause rather than for eyeballs, the optics don't matter there. Thank you, Vidhi, and God bless you. I owe you a box of chocolates.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I would now like to request PDG Rotarian Shamusri Sen to Shamusri, are you there?
Yeah, I am there.
Shamusri, your vote of thanks, please.
Okay. No, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
where is my ice cream customer?
Ice cream customer. Even the Jamai is here. Everybody is waiting to show you.
Oh, lovely.
The whole family is Rotarian. চারজন Rotarian এখানে তোমার কথা শুনছি। একজন পাশে বসে breakfast করছে।
Okay.
So, Amitava, how do we thank you? Every year you hear us, being so thankful to you. Kichu korar nei, because you're the one who inspires us at the beginning of the year. I hope even we have a lot of friends from neighboring clubs. I would like to mention the names that I can see because some of them are my presidents. When I'm very possessive about my presidents. So I had seen Deepak, he was here, but he's dropped off. Dev Kumar Da is traveling in US and planning to go to Canada. So hi Dev Kumar Da, thank you so much for waking up early in the morning. Tumi ta aro east e acho to tomar aro cold. Oh west na, he is in the
Thank
east.
you, Dev Kumar Da.
Thank you.
Proshenjit Da was my president. Navneet was the person
Thank you very
who
much.
greeted everyone. You're welcome. And Navneet used to send greetings to everyone without fail on birthdays and anniversaries, which is a big job to do. আর ওটাও আমার মনে হয় একটা ইমাজিনেশনের দরকার হয় to imagine that you can greet all the people of 3291 and make them happy for at least one day. Then I see Jhaji from Nepal. Thank you. I know you were having a big meeting with the minister, and good, now that you're traveling, you joined us. Thank you so much. I trouble him all the time. Give me money for polio. So, and he always is very sporting. I can see Shumita Mitra, Shubhash Shaha, who was also my president for Sundarban Club. Devabroto Joardar from Beala, senior.
Oh, Devuda is here.
Devuda was here. Shumita Di শুয়ে আছে, শরীরটা ভালো নেই মনে হচ্ছে। তো কেমন আছো সুমিতা দি?
শরীরটা ভালো নেই গো একদম।
কি হয়েছে দিদু কি হলো?
হ্যাঁ প্রচন্ড প্রবলেম চলছে রে, পরে বলবো একদিন ফোন করে। হ্যাঁ
আচ্ছা
হ্যাঁ, ও তো তুই আছিস বলে আমি ছেড়ে ফেললাম এটা, উপায় নেই
থ্যাংক
কিছু।
ইউ
ওকে,
তোমার ফ্যান ক্লাব এত বড় না অমিতাভ দা, কি বলবো। So thank you Amitava very much for clearing many thoughts, for giving us the disha for Imagine Rotary. I know we have a very, very, very enthusiastic and very, very active president this year. She's traveling across the world for the whole year, going from place to place. She's going to do 6 events for polio and personally be there, which is very interesting. Her thought process is fantastic. And what you explained to us, as usual, will leave us with a philosophical thought for the rest of the day for us and for the rest of the evening for those in India. And তুমি আমাকে এরকম আটকিও না, I need to come back home. What is this? Omicron আর এসবের ভয় দিও না।
Omicron থাকলে তোমার বাড়ি
আমি
ফিরতে হবে।
এমকে ঝা বলছি। এমকে ঝা, আপনার যখন আপনি ডিজি ছিলেন রোটারি ক্লাব অফ রাজধানী স্টার্ট করেছিলেন রোটারি ক্লাব, আমরা আপনাকে 50টা IOL দিয়েছিলাম তখনই ফার্স্ট ইয়ারে।
আমার অফিসে একটা পশুপতিনাথের ছবি আছে ওই উপরে।
হ্যাঁ ওই স্টার ওয়াজ বর্ন, আপনি বলেছিলেন স্টার ওয়াজ বর্ন। Rotary Club Rajdhani is the one of the vibrant club of 329.
I know that.
And our district is doing fantastic in region 6. Shyamashri, she knows very well.
দিলেন্দ্রের সঙ্গে I'm
Absolutely.
in touch with him on a regular
ওই
basis.
মেয়ের নাম ছিল কল্পনা মাহাজন, যে রোট্রাক্টর ছিল এখন রোটেরিয়ান হয়েছে মাউন্ট এভারেস্ট, কল্পনা মাহাজন।
They got married on the mountain.
Yeah, on the Mount Everest.
Shamasri, can I say a few words?
Yes,
Mother
Prashanjit, go ahead.
Teresa
Amar
has
vote of
talked
thanks হয়ে
about
গেছে,
Rotary.
তুমি বলো।
You know, it's a quotation from Mother Teresa. If we
lovely.
really want to love, if we really want to live, we must love until it hurts. No Rotarian whose motto is service above self, I think, should call himself a Rotarian if he does not make time to serve. If we love, we begin to serve. This is what Mother Teresa had been saying all along for the Rotarians.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Amitava. Thank you for all what you said, and thank you for the time you always give to our club.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, ladies and
Amrita,
gentlemen.
all yours.
And the
Thank you.
Rotarians too.
ভালো থেকো সব।
Okay.
ভালো
Bye
থেকো।
bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা, কলকাতায় ফিরে দেখা হবে শ্যামশ্রী। বাই।
হ্যাঁ দাদা।
Thank you so much.
বাই বাই।
Good evening.
টাটা।
আমি তো
All the best.
Thank you.
ওকে, বাই বাই।
Bye.
You waited my turn.
Shubhajit, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Amrita, you
Thanks,
can,
Amrit.
terminate
Yes,
the meeting.
I would like to, yes.
Thanks
Thank you
for-
very much, everybody, for joining us. I would like to formally terminate today's meeting. Thank you,
Thank you.
members and guests.
Thank you, Amrita.
Thank you. Thank you, Amrita.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.